So thank you so much for letting me come in and present to your team today. My name is Christine, my last name is Telea, and I'm the enterprise rep here in Denver. And I've been with T-Mobile just a little over 11 years, and certainly I've seen a lot of changes in the last 11 years, and we are going to speak to a lot of those changes today. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to hear a little bit about what you do at Jefferson Sanderson.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Christine, for being here. I'm the CEO of Jefferson Sanderson. We are a fully owned subsidiary of Boeing with a heavy international presence.
All right, good. That's great to know. So that'll be helpful, and you'll certainly see a lot about international today that you're going to be quite pleased with.
Okay.
So again, I talked at the beginning here about all the changes I've seen over the last 11 years. And clearly, right here, you can see we are changing the game of wireless. And I think it's really important that I read these two quotes to you so you really kind of understand where we're going and what we're going to cover in this presentation. So we are the uncarrier. You've seen those slogans on TV,
yes.
I think. We are the uncarrier, unwilling to live by the rules set long ago, rules that no longer apply to the current day environment. We are changing the game and rewriting the rules of our wireless to benefit our customers. So really what this says is that anything that a wireless carrier does that irritates you, we probably do just the opposite.
Oh,
okay?
Wonderful.
So what we're going to talk about next, a little bit that we're going to review today, we're going to talk about the changing landscape of the wireless world. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing in the industry and how we're transforming it. And it's clearly through simplicity, it's going to be through transparency, and it's going to be through innovation. We're going to also talk a little bit about what to expect in 2014 and beyond. And we're also going to talk a little bit about customer testimonials, what other folks, other customers that use T-Mobile are saying, and how pleased they are with T-Mobile. So is there anything else that you think you might want to see?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay, great. So a couple of things that are really changing in the landscape today. And number one, it's data usage is out of control. Users are using more and more data. I can clearly remember when it used to be, I would ask you, hey, do you want to buy a 300-minute plan, a 600-minute plan? It was all about the minutes. Today it's all about the data. I mean, people are putting more and more applications on these phones. They're consuming more and more data constantly. Okay, the other thing is the mobile workforce. It's becoming more and more complex to manage. Right now you probably even have heard the term BYOD, bring your own device.
Yes.
That's clearly almost turned into bring your own stuff. Some people would call it other stuff, you know what I mean? But clearly, people are bringing a laptop, they're bringing a tablet, they're bringing their mobile hotspot, they're bringing their wireless phone. There's just more and more to manage, and they're bringing a whole plethora of devices. They have Androids, they have Windows Mobile, they have iPhones. So it's becoming very difficult to manage. The other thing that happens right now is the costs. The costs are clearly very difficult to keep up with. So we do want to talk to you a little bit about that. I'm sure you open up your phone bill, you're never sure if it's going to be $1 million or what you signed up for at $10,000. You know, there's data overages, there's texting overages. God forbid a user goes overseas, you might think, oh, it's only going to cost $400 or $500. You're shocked when it's $5,000. You know, so there's all kinds of things there with cost control that we're going to speak to. And I'm sure it's just very difficult to keep up with all these changing technologies. Is there anything else that you found that's difficult for you?
No, I think that hits it right there.
Good. Okay. Wow. Do you know what this means?
What does this mean?
Any idea? You want to take a guess?
Massive data usage of 81%.
Well, you're right on. You understand it's data. It's clearly that global mobile data traffic increased by 81% in the year 2013.
Wow.
So I can tell you right now that users are using more and more and more data. There's video conferencing, there's all this social media, whether it's Facebook and Twitter, different things they're doing with these phones. It's just more and more data. I'm sure you probably have a lot of customized applications, the flight navigation patterns that are all going on tablets and on iPhones. Data usage is just way, way up.
Yeah.
And again, what kind of plan do you buy for this? We're going to talk about that a little bit here down the road. Okay? Probably, I just want to go back that one slide for a minute here. Let me just pop back. Oops, I'm at the wrong way here. Oh gosh, well, let me just keep going here. So anyway, why I wanted to leave at this slide here is because I want to talk about simplicity. And kind of what goes with that huge data consumption is, how do you manage all that? You probably have a whole team of people sitting here going, okay, should we put this person on 2 gigs and this person on 3 gigs of data, and you think you have it just right, all of a sudden you realize that you bought, 100 gigabytes of data and you only use 50, or maybe about 50 gigs, and lo and behold, that month you used 150 gigs of data and you got stuck with a $10,000 overage bill. Sorry about that.
Yes.
But anyway, so these are the kind of things that happen to you that are really difficult to control, and again, your people are just wasting all kinds of time on that.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
what we really want to do is make it simple for you. You absolutely deserve simplicity, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about what businesses want from their provider, and I'm sure you want predictable costs.
Mhm.
You don't want to sign up and say, hey, we bought all these plans, it totals $1,000, you open up your bill, it's $10,000. How many times has that happened to you?
A lot.
Were
It
you
happens
pleased
every
surprised? Yep, absolutely. I'm sure you also want simplified international costs. Have you ever had it where you send a user overseas and boom, the bills maybe quadruple what you thought it would be?
Yeah, that's happening to us every single month and is one of our bigger pain points.
Right, right. So, increased flexibility. How about, how would it sound to you if you had no contract on your phone line?
That would sound great, because then we'd have the ability to do whatever we want, whenever we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you might sign up for iPhone and then a couple years down the road, you're like, gosh, I wish we had an Android. And not even a couple years, maybe 6 months down the road, you're thinking, hey, this application fits better on an Android, and how do you get out of that? What do? Well, we've got a way,
Great.
okay? Less time to manage their plan. So basically what this is, again, how many people do you have working on your phone bill today?
Oh, we have a whole entire team dedicated just to our phone bills.
Yeah, I mean, you've got thousands and thousands of lines with all 4 carriers, I'm assuming. And again, how long does it take you to get through this? You're trying to say, hey, this person needs this plan, this person needs this plan. You're trying to go back 9 months, maybe 6 months, figure out the right plan. You're never gonna get it right. Have you ever had it right?
No, never.
No, you
And it's
don't.
a constant battle, the
Yeah.
right fitting.
And again, that goes back to the billing. You just want it to be simple, easy to understand, done, okay? The other thing is you do want to stay connected. You want to keep up with technology and understand different solutions that can fit your business needs and actually make you more productive, and we can help you with that as well.
Oh, wonderful, thank you.
Okay. So again, let's talk about transparency. What's going to make it easy for you? And that's going to be, again, eliminating that bill that says, hey, surprise, you thought it was going to be $1,000, it's $10,000, Pooled plans, you're probably right now on a stackable pooled plan, and what that's got is, you might say this person gets 300 minutes, the next person gets 600, the next person's got 1,000, and sure enough, you bought 10,000 minutes, you only use 2,000 minutes, so you cut yourself way down. The next bill cycle, you're only gonna buy 4,000 minutes to allow yourself a little buffer. Lo and behold, you use 15,000 minutes. So you just never get it right. And again, you're going back through over and over and over. And in fact, you might even be hiring a TEM, a telecom expense management company, for $4 or $5 a line to manage this, and they never even get it right. So that's just something you need to consider. Companies too, a lot of the companies, I think you're gonna see, they're probably gonna say to you, Maggie, we're gonna give you a 40% discount, but what you need to stop and think about is, what are they charging you to start with? I mean, they charging you $1 million for the plan, they're discounting it 40%, you're still paying $500,000 for the plan? I mean, it's just sort of silly, these kind of fake big discounts that are out there. So the last piece too that we want to talk about is the international piece. And you said you're a big international
Yes.
traveler. And again, now you're scrambling around, users are leaving the country, you're trying to add features, delete features. God forbid your CEO gets out of the company and his phone doesn't work because you forgot to add them. Or of course somebody else runs out of the country, forgets to tell you they're leaving. They do have international permissions set, just not the discounted ones. And so you run up a $10,000 bill on that line. Those are the kind of problems that I'm sure you're facing.
Oh, every single month.
Yeah. So anyway, think about those while we move on and talk a little bit about innovation. I mean, you want to be with a company that's very innovative, and T-Mobile's got a lot of features and solutions in this arena. I'm going to talk a little bit about Wi-Fi calling. So basically, wherever you have a Wi-Fi network, your phone can go onto that Wi-Fi network and make a voice call. When you do this, it doesn't count against any planned minutes, should you choose to use a planned minute program, which we can speak about later. But it also gives you coverage. So if you've got that crazy executive that lives up in the middle of Montana, and he says to you, hey, there's no coverage, Well, as long as he's got a Wi-Fi network, he's got coverage.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's something to think about as well. We do have high definition voice. And this is really true duplex calling. And the funny thing about this one here is, on this high definition voice, is that it's actually built into every phone on the market, but most carriers have chosen just to ignore that feature. So
Oh, wow.
T-Mobile's going ahead with it. We do have 20 by 20 LTE network. So simply put, this just means faster speeds to you. And in fact, we've actually seen speeds up to 70 megabits per second in Dallas and Las Vegas, and we're going to continue to expand the network. So you're just going to see these speeds with T-Mobile get faster and faster. Last item is our phones. You've probably seen the term GSM, Global Standard for Mobile. That's what T-Mobile is. GSM phones, they will work anywhere in the world. One simple phone works anywhere.
Oh, great.
So let's talk a little bit about solutions that we have that might transform your business. And actually, let's start with the network. That's one that's really, really out there. Right now, T-Mobile absolutely, hands down, has the fastest 4G LTE network today. It's kind of a tongue twister for me. Yeah, so we do have 231 million people covered in 229 markets, and that's continuing to grow. So you'll see that here in the next couple of slides, but we'll go ahead and go on. As far as coverage goes, T-Mobile does have 96% of all Americans covered. In fact, it's interesting, I went to an RFP presentation the other day, and I stood up to speak, and the guy goes, just sit down. I'm like, oh God, this is not going well, you know? And I said, what's happening? And he said, listen, he goes, I have all 4 phones from all 4 carriers out there. And he goes, I'm 62 years old, and what I realize now is where a phone happens to drop, it's just going to be different. Y'all have the same coverage. And I said, that's true. The only thing different about T-Mobile, as I just said, we have the fastest 4G LTE network. So as you consume more and more data, that's clearly going to be important to you as you begin to put all these applications onto your phones. But, you know, there's the maps. You know, you can see Verizon's got theirs all colored in red, and you know, everybody's got the map thing going on. But clearly, as far as the actual percent of people covered, it's really the same. So again, let's talk a little bit about the plans, and one of those plans was the Simple Choice for Business. So really what this is, it's quite simple. You pick the minutes you want. It automatically comes with unlimited texting, so no need to worry about adding or deleting texting features and trying to guess on what's happening there. It does give you, all the plans come with the flat rate international calling. So there's over 120 countries that you can go to, and we've done a study, and in fact, the 120 countries probably cover 80% of the countries where most of our clients go. So I'm sure I've looked at your list, and I believe almost every country that you go to is on there. These calls now will just be a flat rate at 20 cents.
Oh, wow.
So that's it. So the global features too, they're always on the phones. So again, no need to worry about getting out of the country. Your executive's phone doesn't work. There's no features been added, or you know, God forbid, he gets out of the country and doesn't have the discounted features on there, and the next thing you know, he's giving you that $10,000 bill and you're having a heart attack. So the next plan that we've got that we can add on there is international stateside talk and text. And what this is you can see that you can get unlimited calling to landlines in over 70 countries at absolutely no cost. You have unlimited texting when you're in the United States to over 200 countries. You also discount calling to all these countries. So some of them might be 5 cents, 4 cents, 15 cents, but again, this international talk and text is going to give you discounted rates while you're in the US. Okay? And this is just another feature for Canada and Mexico, but I don't think you're there quite a bit, so we'll go ahead and go on. So what to expect in 2014 and 2015? Really, what you're going to see is even better call quality and data connections. Again, we talked about the use of data, how important that is. So again, your data connections are going to do nothing but improve. They're going to get faster and faster. So you're set with the applications that you're going to be moving forward with. Again, the LTE network, it's the fastest LTE network in the United States today. We have plenty of spectrum. We have more spectrum per person. So you're not going to run into a lot of capacity issues like you've been mentioning to me with AT&T and Verizon when we spoke briefly on the phone. You're just not going to see that. And again, we even have more LTE data coming, more 4G data. So any questions about the data network and the speeds?
No, I think you've covered it so far.
Yeah, great. One thing I do want to mention a little bit here is throughout between now and the end of the year, we are taking our 2G network and transforming, well, a little bit we have left of 2G all into the LTE network as well.
Oh, wow, so
Yeah.
more 2G coverage.
Yeah, so we'll have a little bandwidth still open for those folks that maybe have a machine-to-machine application that runs on 2G, that type of thing. I know AT&T shut theirs down. We're certainly picking up a lot of their customers in the machine-to-machine space now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly gonna all move to 4G.
Okay.
So again, what does all this mean if you don't have good service? So I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about this service, different things that we offer. So we do offer great engineering support. I have a technical sales engineer. His name is Rick Schmitz that works with me here in the Denver marketplace. So he could actually work with your IT teams, whether it's security, industry-specific applications, things that you might need. He can work with your technical teams to get those applications running and off the ground. We do have an implementation team. So one thing I want to chat about here is, let's say you're going to move 1,000 lines to T-Mobile. And you're like, okay, how's this going to happen? We don't have the payroll, the bandwidth to do that.
No.
You don't need it. We do it for you. So when we come in, we'll bring a team of people in, and it'll be organized, and we can go into detailed plan later. But when we leave, what will happen is you will have a spreadsheet that you can pretty much upload or download into any file that you want. It'll have your user's name, their SIM, their IMEI, their phone number, their data plan, their voice plan, any information that you might need. We will leave you with that and load it into your system, and you're ready to go. So absolutely no payroll on your part to move all of these.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay. We do have dedicated care teams. We have great customers, stellar award-winning customer care, business care, but we also have a dedicated care. So you will email this group of folks, put your business name, your company's name in the subject line, and they're very familiar with your account. So you could tell them, hey, this is my air card account, or this is my international account, however you want to designate your accounts. They'll be familiar with what you're doing, what plans you want, and you can call into them for specific help and care. You will also have an account team, which is me. I'm the quarterback of the account, but I can also get you the resources you need through the engineering team, through our network engineers. Those are the ones that actually maintain the towers. I can help you get in-building coverage solutions. There's different things that you might need, whether it's maybe third-party solutions. Let's say that you need a certain routers or something unique. Anything that holds a SIM chip, I can get you in touch with that team of people in our company to help you. So we do have managed device support. So this is one thing a lot of people have been clamoring to get, because they're like, okay, now we have Windows phones, we have iPhones, we have Androids. You know, I'm hiring more and more IT people all the time to manage this whole plethora of devices that people have. So we can do this for you. The service might be just a few dollars a line. It all bills on T-Mobile paper. And bottom line, we will be your help desk. So you can eliminate that big hassle right there.
Oh, great.
Yeah. We do have an Advantage program. This is basically the employee program. So a lot of the great plans that we've talked a little bit about today, international plans and all that, we also offer them to your employees as well. And then again, we do have solutions. And I spoke briefly about the solutions, so we can go ahead and move on. All right, so let's talk just a little bit about the T-Mobile difference, what that is, okay? So with T-Mobile as the partner, what you're gonna get is, number one, the nation's fastest 4G LTE network, okay? You're gonna get simple, predictable costs. They're gonna be fixed, no bill shock, no surprises. You're gonna get truly unlimited voice, truly unlimited text and data, and on the data, no throttling. It's just unlimited. You always know what your bill is going to be. You never need to worry about a data overage. You're gonna save thousands of dollars in payroll every month, because you don't have to have that whole team of people trying to figure this out.
Oh,
And in fact, I think you have the TIM, don't you? Are you using a telecom expense management company?
yeah, because they have to constantly write.
Fire them.
to people.
You're not even gonna need them with these plans. Get rid of them. You're not gonna need them.
Perfect, I like it.
Yeah. So again, upgrades, we spoke briefly about upgrades, that you can upgrade when you want to, not when you're told. I think that's important. So as technology changes, when your line doesn't have a contract, you need a different device, go ahead and change it out. Next, we talked a little bit about the international piece, I think. So again, huge international traveler, we do have free international data, free international texting included in your plan, as well as 20-cent calls. And again, there's not that crap about you have to add the feature, delete a feature, you don't want to pay for it when you're not in the country. All that stuff goes away because the plan comes pre-configured with these features on there. It automatically is ready to go. Okay? And again, Wi-Fi calling and high definition voice, if you'll recall, we mentioned those. And again, we talked about the service that you get, which is clearly world-class service with a whole plethora of teams to help you for whatever your needs might be. So again, just don't take our word for it. I mean, a lot of times people say, oh, it's just a sales rep chit-chatting about it. But here you can see from Bill, I don't know, did you read Wireless Week? A lot of people do.
Yes.
Look at Bill Munson here. He's saying T-Mobile's new data plans will help simplify things for businesses and help them avoid nasty data overage charges. So clearly, it's just not me saying this. You can see here, Greg Moffat, a lot of folks are very familiar with him in the industry. T-Mobile is now #1 by momentum. We are witnessing what happens when the first credible price cutter arrives in an overpriced and saturated market. Again, just start Googling some of the articles about T-Mobile. I think you'll be absolutely thrilled. Here we've got Eric, who's from Bayada Home Healthcare, with his lines rollout, but I just wanted you to know that I manage MGM International Resorts. I rolled out over 7,000 lines there in 90 days without a hitch. Didn't get behind schedule or plan. Certainly I could give you a couple names for references over there, but that thing went absolutely flawlessly.
Oh, impressive.
Yeah. Now here's one. Here's Carmel Car and Limousine Services. So basically, what we did, and we kind of have a different approach. Sometimes we'll just go in and we don't even talk about, what type of device you want, what kind of plan you need. It's like, what do you need to make your business more productive and improve your business? What can we do to help you? And in fact, this guy, Carmel Car Limousine, said, you know what? We would like to be able to dispatch our cars more effectively. We would like to use GPS tracking. And he goes, we'd also like to use a combination of smartphones and tablets. So we started working with them, seeing what they need. Bottom line, when we were all said and done, that it was 40% faster pickup times for customers, and clearly that did nothing but improve the revenue of his business. So there's a great guy. If you ever wanted to speak with him, I could get you in touch.
Wonderful.
Okay? God, now this guy, everybody's like, who's that scary looking guy? That's our CEO, Sean Ledger. So if you ever need some entertainment late at night, honestly, Google the guy on YouTube. You will laugh. I always think like, how else fails? He doesn't make it here. He can be a stand-up comedian. I mean, honestly, the guy is hilarious. You've got to Google some of these videos.
I will.
All right.
Absolutely.
But here's what he said. Look, this is true. This is exactly what he says. This is an industry filled with ridiculously confusing contracts, limits on how much data you can use or when you can upgrade, and monthly bills that make little sense. As America's Un-carrier, we are changing all of that and bringing common sense to wireless.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it says it pretty clearly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. People are just kind of tired of all this crap with the phone companies. So let me just talk a little bit and kind of wrap it up real quick with a little bit of an executive summary. And I think you said, your pain points, they're unpredictable costs. T-Mobile, we have a simple, predictable cost model. You buy one plan, it's good, covers everything you need, you're set, you never need to worry about your phone bill again. Like I said, even Friday the 10th, it's gonna save you millions.
It will.
Yeah, data usage is out of control. So again, we have an unlimited plan with no throttling on a 4G LTE network, the fastest in America. Pretty damn good.
Impressive.
International overage charging. We have free global data, free texting, and 20-cent calls. Again, no more the crap if you open up your phone bill, you're like having a heart attack because it's, I thought I was gonna pay $1,000 and sure enough it's $10,000. Then you gotta go explain it to the boss and this and that, and it's a big mess. None of that. That all goes away with T-Mobile. Next thing, constant business needs. They change all the time. Like I said, maybe you rolled out iPhones a year ago, now you wish you had an Android. Okay, no contract with T-Mobile. We just tell you, here's how much your plan changes. Now your cost might change a little bit, a couple dollars a month, and you're up and rolling with Android. Boom, just like that. And we've got that implementation team that I mentioned that's going to handle the whole upgrade process for you. Okay? Management headaches. Again, all that stuff about we've got, everybody's got 10 devices on the network now, and they've got their tablet, and they've got their hotspot, and they know how to use the hotspot, and they're calling the help desk, and so we have hosted mobility management services. They're going to go ahead and manage the help desk for you and take care of all of this.
Perfect.
And again, customer versus a partner. I mean, clearly, we're here to help you improve your business, make it more productive, cut your payroll, which is your largest controllable expense, and just really help you gain increased efficiencies, okay? Now, all of that said, you can tell I'm kind of excited about it. What do you think, Maggie? I mean, how do you feel about T-Mobile right now? What do you think?
I think it sounds wonderful. I mean, you hit on almost every single pain point that our organization faces on a day-to-day basis. So I'd love to dig in a little bit deeper and see how we can kind of work to further this process.
Okay, so when you say dig in a little bit deeper, I'm assuming, really as far as digging in, I think we're probably to the point where we just want to go ahead and set up an account and get some of these phones in the hands of your international users and start there. Would that not be a good place?
Yep, absolutely. Let's
All
get
right,
started on it.
so now, who will I be working with? I'm assuming that's you, or is there anybody else you'd like to bring in?
I'm gonna put you in touch with Philip. Philip is
Mhm.
in charge of IT and he handles our mobile devices right now. So
Okay.
he'll work with the team to get set up on doing a test and trial and everything
Okay,
and to move forward with that.
great, thank you. I appreciate your time today.
All right, you're
Thank
welcome. Take care.